11th of November because I'm heading out, but I did want to put something out because there is a change in the weather coming over the course of the weekend, and it could bring us into some significantly colder conditions, certainly because it's been so mild over the last few days, with that southwesterly wind bringing up warmer air over the Gulf Stream and keeping us in temperatures about 2 or 3 degrees higher than typical for the time of year over the last while. Now we're back in the warm part of the polar front divide at the moment today, but it's coming with quite heavy rain, and that rain is slow moving because the southerly wind, so it's not pushing eastwards, but it should clear tonight. I think some parts of the north might stay wet until evening time and into tonight, but then overnight tonight should be mostly dry with clear spells, and then tomorrow starting dry with sunny spells, but then rain coming up from the south again. And I think on Friday another rain belt coming up from the south, but that all keeps us in the warm side of the polar front. It's after the weekend, through the weekend and into next week, when we see a transition into the colder air. A high pressure system is pushing southwards over the country, pushing us into the colder side of the polar front for the early days of next week. Now usually what happens, you know the expression too cold to snow? Too cold to snow goes because to get really cold in Ireland, we need an anticyclone to build, usually from Siberia. The or Scandinavian high comes down over the country, gets really, really cold. That's the only time it really does get very, very cold in Ireland, when we get that Scandinavian high settling over the country for an extended period of time through the winter. The reason that you'd say it's too cold to snow is because in high pressure we don't get precipitation, so we don't get any rain to freeze or to turn to snow. But this weekend and into the early days of next week, it looks like a low pressure system is going to come through that cold air, and that will bring precipitation, so frozen precipitation from, I hate saying the word snow because people go, oh, panic, snow. But at the moment it looks like it's showery in nature, so convection will be necessary. And if it's cold over land in the wintertime, you don't get a huge amount of convection, but coming down from the north, you'll see the north and northwest Donegal highlands, the high hills and mountains, certainly over Donegal, might see some snow for next Tuesday, Wednesday. Further south and east, not so many showers, so not so much precipitation, not so much snow likely there, but still it is going to be cold, and if the showers come, they can drag the freezing level down. They can get snowy down to the surface, but it doesn't look like there's any sort of anticyclonic blocking happening, so the low pressure system's coming back through for the second half of next week. It looks fairly certain that we're getting into the cold air. The trend from all of the computer model runs, the 50 runs, all have that downward trend in the temperatures after next weekend, but for the next few days staying fairly mild, although wet and windy. Sin é slán go báid.